This is Ice Cream Gecko, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the NRG-5 emergency food ration. This is something that interests me quite a bit, and all sorts of emergency rations, emergency or military food rations, it's very interesting to me. I'm watching a lot of those MRE reviews. They interest me more than they probably should, so might as well do something on my own, right? But, you know, getting genuine ones is always a bit difficult, so I went for something different, for something for the civilian market, for emergency relief, catastrophe relief, crisis relief. I've seen these in some pictures, so I might as well check it out. It's, I think, made in Germany, as far as I know, and the company sits in Friedrichsdorf in Germany. We've got English and German, and I think this should be French writings on this, so yeah, this is good for Africa as well. This set me back €8.99 for this little packet. I had a 10% discount code, so usually it's €10 at the ASMC store. Might as well have looked for an Amazon offer at that price. At least the shipping would have been free then. So let's see what's on the front. So it's lactose free, it's GMO free, it's vegan. That's the most important part of that, I guess. We've got 500 grams divided into 9 bars. We've got 2300 kilocalories. Ingredients, and I finally have something to read in English for once in the ingredients list. It's not very common in my videos. We've got baked wheat, palm fat, sugar, soy, protein, barley malt extract, dipotassium phosphate, potassium chloride, tricalcium phosphate, calcium carbonate, magnesium oxide, dextrose, which is anhydrous, ascorbic acid, ferrous sulfate, DL-alpha tocopherol acetate. We've got retinol, I don't know, acetate, cholecalciferol, which is vitamin D3. I know that in German, but I can't pronounce that in English for the love of God. And we've got cyanocobalamin. I do not know what that is either. Let's take a look at the, the nutrition table. We've got per 100 grams 460 kilocalories. We've got 17.3 grams of fat in that. 8.6 grams of those are saturated fatty acids. I always get the fatty acids wrong. 53.1 grams of carbohydrates. 15.4 grams of those are sugar. We've got 7.1 grams of fiber. 14.5 grams of protein. And we've got 0.48 grams of salt. MCG, is that micro... What's that? It's micrograms, right? Maybe it is. I don't know. I guess I stay away from that, but you can read that for yourself. Just pause the video, I guess. And we've got a little asterisk at the bottom as well. So let's see. The application. Eat slowly and chew well, crumble and mix into previously boiled drinking water to prepare a porridge suitable as infant food. Not suitable for children below 6 months. Guess they have to starve. So let's take a quick look what's inside. We are over 3 minutes into the video and I haven't even opened the bloody package yet. I mean, I always like these little packets like you've got on cornflakes packaging, you know, when you can reseal it. We've got very much like the cookies. There's nothing left in the box. I'll set that right here for the, I guess, ambient decoration. This is one of these vacuum sealed, what's it called, Mylar or something, I don't know, these vacuum sealed packages that we also had the Survivor biscuits in with the very same color scheme as well. Quite like these kind of packets. They're very interesting. They look kind of spacey, don't they? Quite nice, space saving when you see all the individual bars in there. Very interesting indeed. The only bad thing is on the camera you can't really read what's inside, so I guess we're going to open this. I think it wants us to tear the thing open, so I guess we'll go ahead with that. Well, and I thought I would struggle on that. Maybe I'm just not hungry enough. I shouldn't really make jokes about this, should I? not watching this video for morals, right? You want to see what's inside of this thing. And this looks very much like, yeah, sandstone bricks. That's what the color looks like to me. It looks like... I've heard people talk about sawdust when they took this out of the box, and can't really oppose to such a statement at this point in time. It does look very dusty. It does look very... it doesn't really look like something I really want to eat. It's very interesting in texture. It looks like wallpaper, just a little bit, like slightly texturized, a bit of dust still on there. We might have to wash this off before we put that wallpaper on the wall. Very interesting indeed. Yeah, it doesn't really look very appetizing, but it is not meant to be, I guess. It's not really the biggest concern when you're actually in a situation where you are considering to eat this. You don't really care about what it looks like, do you? Okay, we've got a brick. Yeah, texture-wise, very much like sandstone as well. Very interesting when you... Maybe you can hear that. Quite solid. And it crumbles a little bit. What does it smell like? It smells a bit like wheat. It smells a bit like... what's it called? It smells a bit like dry oats, very dry oats. And it does smell fatty, if that makes sense. You know, like fatty, not grainy, but floury types of doughs or things you want to eat. That's what it kind of smells like. It does still look quite dry as well. It does remind me of something, but I can't really put my finger on it. I do not know what it reminds me of, but I've definitely smelled something very similar to this before. Yeah, it does smell a little bit like very cheap grissini. If you've ever eaten grissini, which is like Italian dough, not like noodles, but they look kind of like spaghetti, are a bit thicker. It's a bakery kind of thing. It's very nice, but these here smell like very cheap ones of those. Okay, enough of that. I will try this now. Let's put the sawdust and wallpaper into my mouth. To be completely honest, I saw reviews of this before, and people said like, I've got a weird, like, I don't know, fat film on your tongue and on your teeth when you eat this right away. It does taste very odd. It's kind of weird. It's not really pleasant at all. It's just weird. I don't think it's weird at all. It tastes almost exactly like baby puree, you know, the stuff you reconstitute with milk and such. It tastes very much like just baby puree in a solid bar without the milk or water. So not very unpleasant at all. Quite nice actually. Very dry, of course. It's got a very grainy texture in your mouth, almost if you had like sand in your mouth, but luckily the graininess kind of goes away at some point, and you really feel that you've eaten something you should have eaten, because I mean, some people say that eating sand cleans your stomach, but yeah, I've never really subscribed to that idea, so I'm glad that this is not representing that particular texture for the entirety of the consummation process. So yeah, the first bite of this, I'm actually quite happy with it. It's a lot better than I expected. Very, I mean, when you see it, you break it apart and you already feel like you're wasting half of it, but let's zoom in on that again. Don't have to film off the packaging the entire time. I will put it at the back though for some scenic shots. Yeah, it's quite crumbly. You feel like you're wasting half of it by just breaking it apart, but the first bite of this was really good. Let's see if the second one is as well. Now I went for a few more bites than I said I would, but I've got to say I'm quite impressed by this. Like I said, I was expecting not great stuff coming my way, but to be completely honest, it's quite all right. It doesn't taste like artificial. It's a bit off-putting with the color, and when you break it apart, it really, you know, it looks like sandstone. It crumbles a bit like it. It's a bit more soft, and the texture in your mouth is is weird at first, but once you see that there's no actual sand in there, it's quite nice. It tastes familiar and comforting, I guess. So really nice. That's far-fetched, but to be honest, if this was a snack or something, maybe with something else, with chocolate or something on there, I would actually go for this, because it's it's quite alright. So that being said, and with 55.56 grams of this, being in one bar, it comes in around, what's it, 255.58 kilocalories, round about that house number, which is not the term I should have used, but it's the literal translation of the German one. I've got to say, this is quite alright. Now, something they say is not only to eat it slowly and chew well, we can also prepare a little porridge with this. So I guess I'm going to try that out as well. This is, of course, not just a cheap way of trying not to waste half of this. I'm going to make a small portion size though, nothing too big. And this is great for crumbling. I mean, it does when you taste it. I don't know, maybe where you live you did have different baby porridge puree, but the ones that I had were very similar to this. I guess they're quite simple when it comes to the ingredients anywhere in the world, as long as there are no toxic chemicals in there or milk powder that's contaminated with all sorts of stuff. I guess it's quite alright. Not really off-putting at all. Not the snack for everyone, but I've got to say, so far, if you ever come into the situation of being handed one of these, and other people don't want theirs because they think it's awful, just take it away from them, or ask them to take it off them, to relieve them of their disgust, because this is quite alright. And with all the vitamins they add, I guess this is something you could live off of for at least a short amount of time. Certainly better than some sketchy prepared food that you do not know the origin of. This stuff here, I mean, it's quite expensive, but I guess it's because it's good, maybe. It's quite alright though. Now, something that's quite hot with this is that unlike regular baby puree or baby porridge, I always thought porridge could only be made out of oats, but apparently that's not true. You can see right here, now that's a bit disgusting if I'm honest. You can see right here, because of all of this stuff here, because there's so much palm fat in there, it really has got a hard time, getting into some kind of liquid form. Regular baby porridge is a lot quicker when it comes to that. Let's pour some more water in there. Yeah, it really smells like baby porridge as well. Well, I guess it has to be baby porridge, right? Because it's for babies. What was it? For all children above 6 months. So, yeah. I guess we can't be too far from that. Who said adults can't eat baby stuff? I mean, sometimes you have when you've, had some surgery and your teeth done, or have got your teeth completely removed, when it's hard to eat something for quite some time. You sometimes resort to Jello and, baby stuff, and it's okay. It's quite expensive though, most of the time, which is the only really unfortunate thing of that. The great thing is it's very well controlled, but when it comes to the ingredients, because they really do not want to sit in court and be questioned about why they poisoned our children, which they really shouldn't. Okay, now we've got a little, we've got it somewhat. I think this is all right. I'll take a spoonful of this and try it, and then maybe put some more water in there afterwards, because I don't think it's going to be all that great when it's really runny. So let's see how this one is. I've got to say, no, I liked it better when it was just in the brick. Oh, that was a bit much, wasn't it? Okay, I'll have to go through this. Now, baby porridge is always better when it's a bit hotter, but now it's very runny and cold. And we are in a war zone right now, so we can't really count on the marmalade as a complementary flavor. So we have to go for this one. Okay, let's see how this one is. Doesn't look weird, just looks like baby porridge. I mean, do you want a close-up shot of this? I don't know, but I guess yeah, now you have one. So my desk is a mess and I've finished my portion size, and I can conclude that this is a lot better than I expected, and probably a lot better than many of us expect. I thought this was just simply just like tasting like sawdust and looking like a sandstone brick, but apart from the initial texture and the color of the brick itself, it's quite alright. It's not offensive in any way. It's not particularly salty or anything. It does have got a weird fruity taste in the, you know, when you've eaten some of it, it does feel like there's some kind of fruit flavor in there, but maybe that's just myself imagining things. Or maybe there's some kind of chemical reaction going on with the bacteria in my mouth, in humans' mouths, in living beings' mouths, that kind of produces some sort of, I don't know, aromatic compound that tastes of something else than sawdust. But overall, this is just baby puree, baby porridge in a brick form, made ready to eat. Don't have to heat anything up. This is shelf stable for quite a long time. When hard times come closer, might as well pick up one of these for some point in the future. I mean, it's not really my first choice of food when it comes to some sort of uncomfortable situation, but like I said previously, when you've got the choice of either this or some sketchy nicer looking food, go for this one. This is I guess this is quite safe, and it's not as bad as people say it is. And I guess when you're really hungry, you don't really care anyways. So yeah, that's my conclusion. A lot better than I thought. Certainly not as bad as many people say it is. And apart from the price, a decent buy. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you did not like this video, leave a dislike. And if you want to see more like this, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. And I hope I'm going to see you soon. Until then, goodbye. Little update at the end of the video. You can see there is one more bar missing from this, and I just had my parents try this. I took one bar, one half for my dad, one half for my mum, and my dad only said it's quite dry. So I guess that says everything about it from that perspective. And my mum said she would rather starve than have this. She didn't really like the comment I made about the last food I ate that she prepared, but yeah, I shouldn't have said that. So maybe I'm just not picky enough, or maybe people are too picky, but when it comes toes to toes, or whatever the saying is in English, people are too picky. Just eat it.